In just a few days, on August 21st to be exact, Americans who live along a narrow band from the west coast to the east will experience a celestial spectacle few people will ever experience. A total eclipse of the sun, which is essentially what scientists say happens when our moon passes between the sun and our planet. Now, while that kind of sun and moon conjunction isn't all that rare, what is rare is that this eclipse will be visible on land across much of the United States. Our science correspondent George Putic explains.
The moon covers only about a half a degree of the entire sky, so its shadow has two parts: the umbra, where the total eclipse can be seen, and the penumbra on both sides of umbra, where the eclipse is only partial. This umbra will be about 112 kilometers wide and will travel across the U.S. at approximately 2,400 kilometers per hour, giving between 2 and 7 minutes of observation. Scientists are excited about this rare opportunity to study the sun's corona, the aura of plasma that surrounds our star.
It's not very bright, so we usually can't see it, but during a total solar eclipse we can. And this is where all sorts of dynamics, magnetic explosions occur. The corona is incredibly hot, and we don't understand why that is. It's what I study. And so we want to understand all of these dynamics that are going on in the sun, because the sun, of course, affects us here at Earth, and it affects all of the planets in the solar system.
And to tell us more about the great solar eclipse of 2017, I'm joined by VOA science correspondent George Putic, who gave us that fine report, and by VOA News Center's Carolyn Presutti. I'm so glad you two could join us. I'm excited. Are you guys?
Very much so.
Very much, yeah.
So,
it's going to be a great event.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people are looking forward to it. George, so you brought us like a little show and tell here. What's with the cereal box and the sunglasses?
The cereal box is to show that it's very easy to
show it to camera 3 so our folks can see it.
It's very easy to create a little sort of a pinhole camera to watch the eclipse, because it's extremely dangerous.
So you're saying that becomes a pinhole viewer?
Exactly. If you cut any box like this, make a pinhole here, and the sort of opening through which you can watch at the bottom, and put a piece of white paper
and you can see the sun.
Bottom, you can actually look at a very,
camera
very
obscura is what that is.
A very nice picture of the eclipse. And what's even better, you can take your smartphone and make a video or a photo, because for smartphones it's also very dangerous to point directly to the sun. It can burn.
So Carolyn, why is it so important for us to be wearing these funky glasses while viewing the eclipse?
Well, these are geeky glasses, right? But you really do protect your eyes. Oh, come on.
It looks great on you. I love it. Okay.
But you have to, because the sun is so bright that you can't stand and look at it, right? But you'll be tempted to, right? Because
you could go blind, is that what it is?
Absolutely. A man in 1963 went partially blind, still is, because he looked at the sun for 20 seconds. So it's very damaging.
So be forewarned, anybody who wants to view the sun during the solar eclipse needs to wear some kind of protection or build a camera obscura device like yours. Now, George, obviously the entire scientific community is abuzz about this eclipse. I mean, but like you say, it happens quite often. Why is there so much interest in this particular?
Because first of all, it is a total eclipse, which means that the moon will totally cover the sun, and only its corona will be visible. Now, as you can imagine, even with sophisticated instruments from the Earth, observing the sun is very difficult. Especially the corona, which is a very interesting area of the sun's atmosphere, because what science still doesn't know is why is corona about 1 million degrees hotter than the sun's surface. So blocking of the sun will enable scientists to look only at the corona and put all kinds of spectrometers looking at it, and trying to find out what's going on in that area of
And why is this such a big deal for America? This doesn't happen all that often here.
No, it doesn't. And you know, 12 million people are right in the line of that perfect eclipse arc that George is talking about. 12 million people. But you know, we're all geeks at heart, right? So we all want to know about the universe. We want to know where we came from. We want to see the eclipse. We want to learn about the sun. I mean, there are all kind of experiments going on all over the country.
So if you're not in that area, how can people sort of experience some of that thrill?
Well, we'll be going live on Facebook.
Oh, yeah?
We'll be going live in Los Angeles with an observatory in Missouri where they're sending balloons up to do a 360 video of the eclipse. Wow. I'll be live at the Air and Space Museum. I'll be live in Northern Virginia at George Mason University. They have an eclipse mob. So 150 people have these receivers to pull down the radio waves, low frequency radio waves, to test and see how the sun affects the ionosphere. So there you go.
And if I may add, NASA also has a very, very good website at nasa.gov where people can watch from all over the world.
But make sure you tune into VOA News because we're going to have the full coverage here as well, right?
We definitely are, yeah.
Because we're linking to NASA as well, aren't we?
We are, and they'll have a live
And you'll
stream.
be talking to scientists as well?
Absolutely. Scientists and just individuals out to see the eclipse and how they're viewing it. And of course, everyone will have these on.
So George, I'm actually traveling to South Carolina on Monday to see this for myself. I've seen partial eclipses, but never a total solar eclipse. What can I expect to see?
You can expect to see something once in your lifetime because it's a fantastic. I remember when I was very small, I watched the total eclipse in my home country, Yugoslavia, and it was absolutely fascinating. It's something
I hear the temperature drops.
In the middle of the day, suddenly it becomes night.
It's dark.
You can see stars.
Birds go to roost.
And
all
it's
that
going,
stuff?
yes, it's going to be very interesting to watch animals.
I can't wait to talk to you guys about it on Monday, but we are out of time.
We could talk about it forever.
We could. Thank you, Carolyn. And thank you so much, George.